Lara Trump is here. She is a Fox Business contributor. Lara, great to see you. I interpret this as Cori Bush saying, I need to be safe and secure and protected so I can work hard to make sure you and your family are not safe and secure and protected.
Yeah, that was a bit of a cyclical argument that she made there. She basically negated both of her points there in that one soundbite. So really interesting. Yeah, Dagan, basically what she is saying is that she is anti-gun unless those guns are used to protect her, and then those are okay. But nobody else should have any guns out there. It's this sort of hypocrisy that I think is going to be a real problem for the Democrats come the midterm elections this year. You know, this is no different than Susan Sarandon, who we heard bash, you know, NYPD officers when they had two more of their finest murdered in cold blood. Susan Sarandon and Cori Bush have the ability to have private security, but the rest of America is just supposed to deal with it. You can defund and disband the police. It doesn't matter to Cori Bush because she just said it doesn't matter if it costs $200,000. She's happy to have the private security. Americans do not like to see the people that are supposed to represent them, that they vote for, that are supposed to be looking out for them, preach and tell them, well, I know what's best for you, it's this, and then turn around, Dagan, and do the complete opposite. It is so hypocritical. This is the kind of thing I think that just totally infuriates people.
And also to the point of what Congresswoman Bush was saying, that she seems to value her life more than that of, say, a child or an elderly woman or a young mother or even father. Like, all of these people have a right to safety and security, and that does come with the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms and protect yourself, which doesn't exist here in New York City. And that I found a head shaker with President Biden being here today, is that he came to the city with the strictest gun control laws in the entire nation. So you're talking about guns. Well, you know what? You want to protect the streets. You give the individuals a right to do that themselves.
Yeah, Dagan, it is always the cities and the locations that have the strictest gun policies that typically see the most crimes committed with guns. It is not that guns are the problem. It is that criminals are the problem. Illegal guns are the problem. So yes, in New York City, there you had Joe Biden coming to talk about even more gun control in a city where obviously it hasn't mattered because the crime is rampant. People are afraid to walk down the street. I know people all the time in New York City who these are people who generally are
Laura,
happy to be
your shots
their house anymore without carrying the normal items on them. They dress down to go out in New York City. This is terrifying stuff. And so it is not that guns are the problem.
Hey, Laura, you're
gun legislation.
Just real quick, you're let's see if we can get your shot straight. The control room can talk to me. You're back. It was just cutting up a little bit. I just want to clear up something I was saying. No, that's fine. I just want to clear up something. I'm not advocating people with guns roam in the streets and that there's some sort of a militia or replacement for the police officers. But I am saying that people should have the right under our Constitution to exercise that constitutional right to bear arms and protect themselves, which they don't have, which I don't have living here in New York City. I want to, in terms of hypocrisy, though, Laura, I want to get your reaction to even more ridiculousness. Listen to Los Angeles Mayor defend his maskless selfie at the NFL game over the weekend. So just listen to this.
When people ask for a photograph, I hold my breath. There's a 0% chance of infection from that. I won't pull it down for 2 seconds anymore. That's easy. But to me, it is crystal clear that nobody has been endangered by that.
He's violating the mask order, but he's holding his breath.
I mean, what are we talking about here? Really? He held his breath? I mean, as if we needed any more reason to realize how draconian and dumb all of these COVID protocols are at this point. I mean, we have seen the signs, Dagan. We know that it is N95 masks that might protect you from transmission of COVID. Anything else, I don't even think that mask he was holding there, by the way, was an N95. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't protect you. This is the same logic that would say you have to wear a mask when you walk in a restaurant, but the second you sit down at your table, you take it off because everybody knows after you sit down, you can't transmit COVID, right? You can be on an airplane, you got to have a mask on, but you can take it off to eat and drink, of course. That's totally fine. This is just nonsense, and I think this is one of the reasons people are so sick of it. This is why you see the Canadian truckers doing what they're doing. They're trying to get these people to vaccinate themselves. They're saying, I don't want it. It doesn't prevent me from getting COVID. Doesn't prevent transmissions of COVID. All of it at this point is so dumb, and people are just fed up with the hypocrisy. He held his breath. It's really astonishing to see. I love that he could take the mask off to take a picture with an NBA star, but the rest of the people have to keep the mask on. Give me a break.
Lara, you're in Florida, or is your residence in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Florida? I have a feeling that
Florida.
a lot of Canadians are going to be moving down there, too.
The weather's great. Freedom is amazing down here. It is an incredible place to live. No masks on the kids at school, anywhere else. It's like we live in a normal country down here. Come on down, everybody.
But you better make sure that people don't bring their politics with them.
Well, that's right. Yeah, you can come down here, but remember why you moved here. This is a red state. We want to keep it that way.
Yes, freedom. Lara Trump, what a pleasure always. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again very, very soon.